Today we're going to talk over the situation on the Ruby Princess, what's going on the Island Princess, and in connection with my video yesterday talking about some excursion tickets going digital, I feel like we need to have another discussion as a Let's Go family. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Wednesday, it is July 16th of 2025, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please be sure to click on that subscribe button, and if you appreciate my updates, please do give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us out. We're really glad to have you with us. I want you all to keep your eye out for two videos from us today. So this is the first video. We're talking about cruise news, things that are really important for us to know if you're going to go on a cruise or you're going to be traveling to cruise. Our second video, though, is going to be very important. We embarked on our Viking River cruise yesterday, and I want to share that embarkation process with you. And we've got the cabin tour of our cabin here on the ship, and I wanted to kind of keep the two separate. I know we've got a lot of people with a lot of questions about Viking and river cruises and what the differences are and what the similarities are. So we'll be talking about this week, but I wanted those to be standalone videos rather than mixed up with the cruise news. So watch for our next video today and be sure to watch it, because you never know. Even if you didn't think you want to go on a river cruise, sometimes the best things in life we only discover because we try something new. Also, this morning we have been running a live just to show you what it looks like along this amazing canal. It's part of the Waal, W-A-A-L River. We left from Amsterdam at 11:30 last night, started sailing down the canal there, and then out and joined this, which is actually a tributary of the Rhine River. So we'll be meeting up with the Rhine later, but we stopped in Kinderdijk this morning, so watch for that video coming tomorrow. But we've got a live that you should take a look at because it's just beautiful sailing down the river, and yeah, so just wanted you to know that it's there. Now let's start at the very top talking about what's going on with the Ruby Princess. Now the main thing, I have been notified that the Ruby Princess is having major propulsion problems. If you are sailing on the Ruby Princess and you know of other problems, will you please be so kind to drop those in the comments or send me an email and I'll share them with everybody. It is huge when a ship has propulsion problems. As I was thinking about this, I thought I want to hear from some of you who have been cruising a lot longer than Gordon and I have. We've only been cruising for 11 years, and I know that we have people here that have been cruising for decades longer than we have. My question is did these kind of situations crop up so often before? I don't remember them cropping up, but then I've only been around for 11 years. And I just kind of wonder if this is a newer problem, if they used to have a little bit more downtime for ships to make sure that these kind of things didn't happen, or nope, this is just normal. And so let us know in the comments, would you, or send me an email if you prefer. Now, the situation with the Ruby Princess with the propulsion problems, and if you didn't know, she is doing round trip San Francisco to Alaska cruises. The problem with the propulsion is they are missing part of their cruise, and they are having more sea days than they would normally have. So the changes they are having to make is they had to move their port stop in Ketchikan, so they would have 3 sea days at the beginning of the trip rather than just 2. So they still are going to Ketchikan, just going a different day. One of the sad changes is they are no longer going to be calling in Victoria, Canada. They will now be calling in Prince Rupert, Canada. 2 really big different places to go. I think either one is great, but when you think you're going to Victoria, then you're going to miss getting to go to Victoria. So Princess said that they are working on adding excursions for guests to take there in Prince Rupert. And here's an interesting thing, and it kind of goes with my question earlier, is in light of these problems, Princess has announced that this is not expected to impact the departure of the next cruise, but clearly the people who will be on the next cruise, if they don't get this fixed, are going to have the same problem. And so here's the question of the day for the comments. Would you rather Princess cancel your cruise, which I don't think they're going to do unless the ship can't move, but would you rather Princess cancel your cruise because they cannot take you to all the places that they said they would take you on the itinerary? Or would you rather them go ahead and run the cruise because you're going with family and you don't want to miss out on the opportunity? You're going on your vacation. What is it that you would rather do? Like I said, we all know they're not going to cancel it unless the ship really can't move. But just kind of looking at it and talking it over together, what would you rather? I've kind of thought about it, and I'm split. If I had a big family cruise plan that we were all going to go together, a special event, I would rather we go, because it takes a lot to coordinate time off, that everybody can have the same time off, and go have a nice time together. You have a fun time together whether you're going to all the ports you expected or not. But if I were going to Alaska and I were going to see the places that I wanted to see, then I would rather they cancel my cruise and let me rebook, spend my money when I can go to all the places that I thought I was going to get to go. So just throwing that out there, let me know what you think. Finally, they are also missing their day of scenic cruising in the Endicott Arm glacier. It's too bad they're missing that. That's a really beautiful place. In connection with what's going on the Ruby Princess, one of our Let's Go family members posted the question of whether or not your insurance will pay you anything if the ship that you are on does not go to all of the ports it said it is going to go to. The answer to that, unfortunately, is no, they don't. They insure your cruise, but they do not insure that you're going to have the exact itinerary that you were expecting. Princess is offering, which is, I think, rather meager. They're offering every person on board $50 of onboard credit due to the inconvenience of not going to all of the ports that they're visiting. I am really hoping that they up that, especially as we roll forward in the season. If this problem continues, I'm hoping that they offer guests a lot more, but you never know. We'll see what they offer. A lot is going on the Island Princess right now. And so first up, they were 90 minutes late leaving the port. They get 3.5 hours in, and there is a notification going out that there is a medical emergency and that the ship is speeding up and getting to where they can meet a helicopter for this guest to be medically evacuated. So that happens. Everything's calming down, and then before you know it, the next morning at 7 o'clock, there goes out another emergency notification for a medical team to go to the galley. It is immediately followed by the notification for all the crew members to go to their emergency stations. If I were on board the ship, I admit I would be a little bit nervous and wonder what's really going on. Once they did that, it says then there was a number of announcements about a fire in the galley and the progress of the firefighting efforts, like using the extinguisher foam, all of these things. And then the all clear was issued about 90 minutes from when the first emergency notification went out, saying that everything was okay. So clearly there was a big enough fire in the galley that they were a little bit worried about the ship, and they wanted everybody at their emergency stations. So I'm really glad to hear that everything is okay now. It'll be interesting to see how the fire in the galley impacts food preparation during the course of the cruise, if everything slows down a little bit. This is a magnificent itinerary that the Island Princess is doing that actually goes up to Greenland. So I hope everything goes really smoothly and that everyone on board is safe. Sounds like we would have heard if crew members had been harmed in the fire. Yeah, what a day, but I'm glad everything's okay. An important thing to remember is that those crew members are so well trained, and so I wouldn't panic if I were on board the ship and everyone were called to their emergency station and they announced a fire in the galley. I would definitely be concerned and want to know what's going on, but I wouldn't be panicking and worrying for my safety, because they are that good at what they do. Now, this is kind of a hard discussion for me, but it's really important, and I'm going to tell you why. Yesterday, I talked about how on Celebrity, they are going to start doing digital excursion tickets. I kind of talked about how in the future, I am sure at some point, Princess is going to do digital excursion tickets as well. They've been on Holland America for a while. Carnival just introduced them. It's just a thing that's coming, whether we like it or whether we don't. And it kind of opens up a bigger can of worms when you think about it. A lot of people are very set, including me, are very set in their ways, the way they do things. And when we think about the way we use electronics in our life, I've got something to say. So, a long time ago, it's been at least 10 years ago, I was talking to one of our sons one day, and I said, you know what, I'm just not going to update. I have an iPhone. I'm not going to update my iPhone. I know how the one works that I have. I really like it. It does everything I want it to do. I don't need to spend the money and update. And he said, no, if you don't update, someday you're going to have to update when this one breaks or quits working, or no longer, you can't update the apps, or it no longer does everything you need to do. Then when you get that new phone, you're not going to know what to do because you haven't been keeping up. Well, I just want to throw that out there to all of you. It was some of the best counsel I've received when it comes to how I run my life, because it's absolutely true. When you think back in the Stone Age, people just, wrote with rocks on rock tablets, right? And then we moved along, and pretty soon people were using paper and pen. And then we moved along, and now we have all these electronic devices. You still can use paper and pen. If you really want to, you can still write with stone into stone and communicate that way. But really, we have to keep an eye on where things are going and how things are working with our life. The reason that I feel like it's important for us to keep up is not just for cruising. To me, to be able to manage things when you go on a cruise is really just a very, very far distant from the very important reasons why you need to stay up to date with technology. It's really because so many things with communicating with your family, communicating with other people, with managing things, even with your healthcare, is so much more convenient with the apps and things that they have on the phone. Some places even require you to do things digitally. Otherwise, you have to jump through a lot of hoops to try to do them another way. So I am just putting this out there that I don't think that you have to run and buy a new phone today or anything, but I want you to really keep in mind how it is that you're communicating. And one thing that I really feel like is knowing how to use a current phone is part of security to me. I know that I can use it to get help if or I need help. I know that I can use it to communicate with family. I know how to keep up on the news. I know how to receive alerts, whether they're weather alerts or other security alerts. There are just things that are associated with having a reasonably current phone that are really important to life in our day. And so let me know what you think in the comments. I update my phone every other year. You probably don't have to do it quite that often, but I'm just putting this out here, and I want to open up a discussion with everyone about the best way to do that. I feel like you don't have to, know how to play all the games that you can have access to. I feel like you don't have to be looking at your phone all day long to make it work for you. And so, I just wanted us to all think about this together and the way that we're managing things in our life. And so let me know what you think. And another quick thing that I want to add along with this is the importance of having a phone when you travel. I know that a lot of times, we travel, we get to the airport, we get on a flight, and then we get on a cruise ship, but there are times in between, like you get off the airplane, you're not on the ship yet, that you need coverage. You need a phone that works, right? When you're on your cruise, you get off, you're on an excursion. If you have a real emergency, are you going to ask somebody next to you to please call for help? Or you have a situation where something scary is going on, are you going to say, well, can I come with you? You have a phone that works? Or expect your excursion leader, your tour guide, to be able to do that for you? I don't think so. So I really want us to all think about how we're managing also our phones when we travel. And I'm going to have some updates for you. We're trying some new eSIM apps while we're here in Europe and seeing how they work. And we're going to report back to you because it makes communicating and having your phone still work when you're in port so much more affordable. So we've got a lot to talk about that as well in the future. And I'll really look forward to reading your comments. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.